The San Francisco 49ers are gearing up to run it back again this season, and we're just a few weeks away from everybody showing up for training camp. Don't worry, we're almost there. Hold strong. We're going to be in the swing of things before you know it. In the meantime, we have guys like Brandon Ayuk making his own headlines out there, and there's intrigue there for sure. But today, we're looking at some news surrounding a hidden gem who was uncovered last season. And man, he's about to explode. In today's video, I'm going to tell you who 3 different sports analysts think is about to have an explosive season on the defensive side of the ball for the San Francisco 49ers. If you're new here, I'm Nate, and we are talking the San Francisco 49ers every day, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all of the action. The good news is this: Ji'Ayir Brown was picked by multiple outlets to have an explosive year. Comment below real quick, who are your favorite, let's say, top 2 safeties of all time to play in a 49ers uniform? Who are your top 2 favorite safeties ever? Let me know in the comments. I'll join you in the comments. We'll talk about it. But we were just talking about Ronnie Lott the other day, cornerback turned safety, but safety, and he definitely has to be one of the 2, right? Who else makes your list? Who else? Let me know in the comments. I'll join you there. The heart of the NFL season, the heart of the NFL offseason is upon us, and that means it's list season. We've talked about that. Lots of lists out there, and the cool thing that comes from that is a lot of guys show opinions about things that you maybe wouldn't hear about because they're not just talking about the biggest story of the day, which I think creates big stories of the day. And one of them, from 3 different sources, Ji'Ayir Brown is picked to have an explosive season this year, which is awesome. Starting with Kyle Madson from Niners Wire picking Ji'Ayir Brown to be the breakout player of the year this season. Here's what he had to say. Brown had an okay rookie campaign where he was thrust into action due to Hufanga's torn ACL in Week 11. While Brown wasn't perfect, his penchant for creating turnovers was on display with 3 interceptions in only 7 games, including one in, the Super Bowl. He's on track to be the Week 1 starter this year, and a full offseason should give him a chance to show off the full breadth of his skill set, playing against the run, playing coverage in the box, and erasing deep throws when he's playing up high. If he generates turnovers at the same rate as last season, he might get Pro Bowl buzz in his first season as a starter. I love this pick, by the way. I mean, obviously, we're talking about it. I love the pick, but one of my favorite things about it is just the reality that if Ji'Ayir Brown is as good as he was just for those 7 games, if he can, create those kinds of turnover margins and things like that, it puts us in a really, really good situation going forward for sure. And Ji'Ayir Brown knows that this is his opportunity. He knows this is it. This is his window. He had his shot kind of in the season. Now this is his chance to kind of kick off the season as a starter, going into the full offseason, knowing he's the starter, knowing Hufanga is not going to be 100% at the very beginning of the season. And that is an opportunity for him to go out there and be something special. If he takes that opportunity, which I think he will, he knows he's either going to be playing in red and gold for a long time, or he's going to be getting paid somewhere by somebody. And so obviously this is an obvious situation for a player to know that this is their window. This is their shot, and they actually have the offseason to prepare for it, which I think is going to be fantastic. Another person, Bucky Brooks, former NFL player and scout. I love people saying Bucky Brooks doesn't know football, and that's fine. You can say whatever you want about Bucky and his opinions, but you can't say the guy doesn't know football. He was a scout, and he played in the NFL. I mean, Anybody who played in the NFL knows a whole lot more about football than all of us in here, right? That's just my opinion. But listen, you think whatever you want. Bucky Brooks had put together his what did they call it? NFL All Breakout Team, and he put in there Ji'Ayir Brown. If I can just find him now, because I somehow lost him. There he is. He put Ji'Ayir Brown in here. Here's what he had to say: the ball hawking safety lived up to his reputation in year 1. Brown notched a pair of regular season interceptions in a postseason pick as a part-time starter who was thrown into the fire following Hufanga's season-ending injury. The interceptions showcased his strength and his range of ball skills, adding a dimension to a defensive backfield that feasts on tipped passes and overthrown balls down the field. With the 49ers expected to return to a scheme that places a premium on turnovers, the second-year pro could become a household name as takeaway specialist on an elite defense. Love that take. Let's move straight into take number 3. Kyle Posey. This is actually way back. We didn't cover it back in May, so we're covering it now. Despite some questionable usage by Steve Wilks, he also picked him, as breakout player of the season. Brown's strengths as a player were evident. His ability to read the game and make crucial interceptions could be a game changer for the 49ers. Brown's best and most productive games last season came when he primarily played in the post as the deep safety. That's where he played when he initially took over as the starter. Yet for whatever reason, Wilks went away from that after Brown's first couple of games. It was bizarre to say the least. Part of this projection is under the assumption that new defensive coordinator Nick Sorensen doesn't try to fit a square peg into a round hole, use the second-year safety out of Penn State to guard tight ends in man coverage on occasion, but let him use his instincts in coverage, read the quarterback, and make plays. Whoo! All right. Let me know how you're feeling about that in the comments. Let me know what you think about these takes on Ji'Ayir Brown. I feel optimistic about it for sure. I'm hopeful that Hufanga comes back strong, and I don't want everything resting on Ji'Ayir Brown, but to have so many analysts pick him as their breakout player on the defensive side of the ball against, and mind you, both of the 49ers writers, right, in a little bit of a different situation, picking a breakout player from the defense out of every single possible player who could be listed on that defense. There's a lot of guys out there like Drake Jackson. We talked about him. He's been picked as a breakout player by an analyst. So there are other guys out there who could be easily picked to have a breakout year for sure. So I'm excited about it. Hope you guys are too. Let me know in the comments. I'll join you there. As always, faithful, what a time to be alive.